Hey guys, I appear to be suffering from some kind of block. I'm trying to, but I just can't seem to throw myself into any video. Anything I attempt, I get a couple of paragraphs into and immediately find my mind wandering. I'm spending so much time thinking about anything but the video without realizing it that I'm rapidly running out of time to make it. I might need to take a week off, but I don't want to just leave you all high and dry without warning. So I'll do a small handful of roasts for today's video, since each one of those only has to be a couple paragraphs long. So what if I get distracted every few? I'll already have roasted the character to a fine crisp. I also think this malaise I'm in might have affected that Space Jazz video, because even though I revised that script once, it still turned out as one of the worst I've ever made. I want to apologize for that. It wasn't up to my normal standard, and it caused me to muddle my message. I came across far more dire than I intended. What I meant to say about that figure is not that it's terrible, but that it's extremely average in all its aspects, with an exceptionally bad transformation and a really good alt mode. And from what I've been getting told, it's breakable, which is why I said that you should probably stay away. It's not that it sucks so you should run, that's not the problem. What I meant by that was, playing that game of Russian roulette with your money is not really justified by needing to experience this figure. 86 Sludge had extreme QC risks, but the figure was so outstanding, I was like, yeah, spin that wheel. See if you get that crack-like high with this boy. With this, if you buy it, you're spinning the will it break roulette to get an okay figure. Maybe its reports of breaking are exaggerated. People do tend to send me their negative experiences with a figure, so I'm like an aggregator of bad news. But I wanted to inform you all as best I could. And I'm sorry that I managed to talk so much about the subject while making my meaning unclear in that video. It's not bad, and I'm happy to have it, but it's also not good, and I'm not comfortable with putting my stamp of recommended on it. But I didn't mean to make it sound as unworthy as I did. My real concern was breakage potential, and that was it. Outside that, it's an acceptable figure. But that's a lot of me not being a clown for your entertainment. So please consider subscribing, and your likes. Please give. So today, we will be trying to cover up some gaps in the previous roasts and covering evil characters. Frenzy. I can't think of a character in the movies less like anything they're supposed to be. There is nothing hinting at you being the blue and purple dude. There's nothing hinting at you being the blue and black dude. There is nothing hinting at you being a boombox. The only way your design squares with your alt mode is if a boombox had 500,000 antennas. And what exactly is the utility of having two hands attached to each wrist? Because the way I see it, the only explanation that could have is to grant you the function equal to a single normal hand. At which point, why not just have normal hands? And why exactly is it that on the day that Primus was apparently handing out bodies, you seem to have been passed up and got built out of the scraps of foam that he could pull out of his garbage instead of the metal that everyone else was? You were killed by an 80-pound woman who presumably survived by eating half a cabbage a day with a sawzall that she swung like an axe. I know that most people have probably never handled a reciprocating saw a day in their life, so they may not realize that if you were to use that same technique, shall we call it, that she used, on a piece of PVC plastic plumbing pipe, you'd snap the blade off and send it careening into your own eyeball. So did they make you out of butter that was sitting in the hot sun for an afternoon when everyone else was apparently built out of space metal that's impervious to any weapon that's not superheated to 6,000 degrees using magnesium? Which is not even remotely what Sabos do. That's like saying, hey, this toaster can boil spaghetti, right? Also, just none of the weapons Scorponok was shot with were sabos, so whatever the fuck that whole scene was. But Frenzy, you should have just packed it in and killed yourself a long time ago. Because quite frankly, a sawzall swung like that would have done significantly less damage to a naked human. And we're awful little meat creatures, you loser. Then we got Shockwave, the man who's got his short shorts pulled all the way up his ass crack, like the grandpa whose joyless personality he drained along with all his blood. You know, I never realized that Shockwave was wearing a bra before now, but it makes sense with his anime titties. It's just too bad he can't contain all that with a side boob peeking out right there. Also, nice butt cheeks, dude. I've heard of a flat butt before. I've heard of a round butt. I've heard of a bubble butt. But I have never heard of a cylindrical one before. It's like you taped 2 cans of beans to your ass as a scientific experiment to learn how beans in the butt cause horns to toot. That is a joke that only the boomers in my audience will actually have the context for. You know, I was this days old when I realized for the first time that Shrapnel has defined nipples. He's also got wrist guns that he's apparently dumb enough to forget that he has since he never uses them. Also, damn, boy has a superhero chin. Was this the inspiration for Animated? Why do your shins have fake wheels on them? No one is going to look at you and be afraid that you're going to roll at them in alt mode. I love your crest. It's like it was designed to hold door frames at gunpoint. Why do so many Cybertronians hate points of entry? Kickback. I have never seen a dude more ready for his first day of school ever. You got your backpack, it's all strapped up, got your hoodie up just in case it rains. You got that pose like your mom asked you to hold still while she takes a Polaroid of you because you just look so handsome. Got that face of indignity because you just know that she's going to be showing the pictures to your aunt. You just got so much little kid energy. It's no wonder the rest of the Decepticons bully you. Also, you got another robot's face in your chest. I have nothing to say about that other than it's creepy. Bombshell. Attaching a gun to a pole on top of your head has got to be the fastest technique for causing whiplash imaginable. Are you trying to pull some kind of insurance scam? Also, man, you got some serious scoliosis in them hips. I can only imagine the noise it makes when you try to walk. It probably sounds like bones getting run through an industrial compactor. It's like you designed your own body to maximize the number of hospital claims you can make. Honestly, a pretty devious plan when you can just say it was all manufacturer's error. Now you just need to find a way to get some clear plastic in you and you'll be complete. Next up, I know I said I was only covering evil characters, and I can't think of anything more evil than Pablo Jack. He's so fucking sinister looking. This is how I know we're going back to Bavers. The good guys look evil as shit. Guess those rumors of this getting ugly Sonic have finally been shot in the face and buried in a shallow pile of manure, allowing this to crawl from its less like ashes, more like asses. What is happening here? It's like the auto badge is growing mutton chops, but only on one side of its face. Anyways, I have nothing but contempt for what I see here. This looks like an exsanguinated Zoolander trying to pull blue steel through a pair of novelty sunglasses. This looks like it just said, "My name is Skylar White."
Yo.
This looks like it crawled its way up out of a fish tank filled with the radioactive waste that blinded Daredevil to terrorize the Shredder and Carl Otis Winslow. Oh. And before wrapping up this video, I would like to point out there was an official interview with executive producer of Rise of the Beasts, Lorenzo de Bonaventura, where he outright stated Rise of the Beasts is going out of its way to not contradict the Bavers, so that way they could theoretically still be set in the same universe, and they could potentially directly lead into them if the filmmakers felt like going back in that direction in the future. So everyone who told me that I was fucking stupid for suggesting that exact thing that has now been officially confirmed was impossible, because Bumblebee was a reboot, you fucking idiot, can blow it out their ass. Bumblebee is, as of right now, still Schrodinger's reboot. There was not, as far as the filmmakers were concerned, enough in that movie that contradicted the Bavers for it to be a for sure reboot. And I don't know how this was ever even a debate. The movie was filmed and completed as a prequel that they then added like 4 minutes of extra footage to change that. And you know what pisses me off? Is just how many people told me utterly disingenuous arguments like that it was impossible that this was still a prequel because Bumblebee's design changed. Bumblebee's design changed in every fucking movie. I hate those movies and I know that. But you're a fan. Really? Cause how is my memory of movies I gave up watching halfway through better than yours? Once again, Perspective End has been proven right. And I really wish you'd stop doubting me, because this keeps happening. I love you guys, but you constantly call me an idiot for things that I get vindicated on in the end. And that's not half what I have to say, but it's enough what I have to say. And I know you know what everyone else tells you to do at the end of these videos. So if you liked what you saw here, please do that. And if you'd like to take it a step further, then please share this video with any friend you think may be interested. I hope you all enjoyed listening to me waste your time.